Alright, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me for video number 4 of this 5-part video series on suicide prevention in the veteran community. So what I want to hit on today, I'm just going to get right into it. That way we can keep the time down a little bit on these videos. What we're going to talk about today is proper target identification and overcoming the enemy. Being successful in overcoming what the enemy's got coming at you. So first thing, proper target identification. Once again, this is something that we learn in the military, no matter what branch you're in. When you are learning the different skills of how to employ your weapon system, one of the things that they're going to hit on is proper target identification. And this is when you're going to point your weapon at something. You do not put your finger on the trigger until you are ready to shoot, and you identify what is at the other end of your weapon before you pull that trigger. That way you know what you're shooting at, and you limit the risk of civilian casualties, right? So how do we apply that to our life here? Proper target identification. One thing I cannot stress enough, and you've got to hear this. Your enemy here at home is not an enemy of flesh and blood. It is not people. Your enemy is not your spouse, your kids, your family, your neighbor, your co-workers, your boss, the person that cut you off on the road on your way to the store. That is not your enemy. That is not who you direct your fire at. You have to understand that our enemy here is one that we cannot see, but it's one that we feel. It's one that we can get influenced by, and those around us receive influence by this enemy, which causes people to act and react in certain ways, right? But your enemy is not the person. So we've got to stop shooting at the people, right? So we got to stop utilizing any weapons or anything that we have at people. It's not people that we're fighting with. It's the anger, it's the influence, it's the sadness, the depression, the guilt, the shame, the PTSD. All those things is what influence people's behavior, right? So what do? We don't worry about what other people's choices are and what they do, because that's them. What we have to do is focus on us. What choices do we make? And based off of how we decide that we're going to act in a certain situation is how we are going to employ our weapon at the proper enemy. So if somebody comes at us in an aggressive way, they're yelling or they're being mean, they're being hurtful, the way that we respond is our weapon in that situation. And if we respond back with hatred and with anger, then we've lost that battle. But if we respond with compassion, with patience, with just letting it go, because you know what, it doesn't matter what this person thinks, then that is how we employ that weapon system to the enemy in that moment. I used to think that other people made me do things. You made me mad. You made me do this. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have done it. But what we have to start doing is taking accountability of ourselves and knowing that yes, there may be influence from an outside source that leads us to making our decision, but in the end, no matter what you do, that is your choice and your decision. And so the way that you employ your weapon, like I said, is to be able to control you and make the proper decision in that moment and know that that is going to take out the real enemy, and you are not to direct your fire at the person. That is not your enemy, all right? So your enemy is not one of flesh and blood. It is something you can't see, but it's something that has major influence on the people around you and on you, and that's how you fight against that. So proper target identification. Know your target. Now, overcoming the enemy. This is what I want. Okay, this is my challenge to you. Please do not take on the mentality of embrace PTSD as a part of who you are. It's something that you went through and now you've come out the other end with PTSD and it's just part of who you are. No, it's not. It is not who you are. It is something that came into your life and it's something that you can expel from your life. You have that power. Understand that PTSD has been with you for so long, and these things have been attacking you for so long that you become a prisoner, and you're sitting in a jail cell with an unlocked door, and the guard is gone. You can leave anytime you want. You have to understand that. Please make that choice to say, I'm no longer going to be a prisoner of PTSD. I'm no longer going to have that connection with it as being part of who I am, but expel it from your life and say, I no longer want this in my life. You're no longer a part of me. I am a warrior. That's my identity. Right? Video 1, identity. And the warrior mentality, your warrior heart, there is no place for the enemy. So expel it from your life. And that's how you're going to overcome it. It might sound easy, or it might sound like, well, come on, that's it. Yes, make the choice. You have a choice to make. Even if you think you don't, or you're stuck in that rut of, this is just how life is. No, it's not. There is joy. There is true joy and happiness at the other end of this road. I know. I've experienced it. I'm experiencing it currently in my life. When years before, I never thought it would be a possibility again. I was so deep in the darkness and so far into a hole that I thought I would never feel it again. But now people tell me I'm the most joyful person that they've seen, right? I want to be happy, and I want you to experience true joy and happiness again. When you hug your family, when you hug your kids, when you hug your loved ones, I want you to really feel that joy and that love, and you can do that. I promise you. Stay committed to this. Stay focused on this. Know that it is going to be a lengthy journey, but it's one that is worth it. And I promise you're going to come out the other end a better person, and those that are around you are going to see it, and your life is going to flourish, and you're going to find success in all areas of your life. So please make that choice. Overcome the enemy by kicking it out of your life and understanding that, is it going to poke back at you? Yes. Is it going to come back and try to get back in you? Yes. But that's when you utilize your weapon systems. Go back to video number 3. How to utilize your weapons in your life now, right? And that's how you fight it off. So what I need you to, your challenges in this one is to understand proper target identification. Know who your enemy is and who you're directing your fire at. And then overcome the enemy. Expel it out of your life. You are no longer a part of me. Get out of my life. I don't want you. And when it comes back, utilize your weapon systems and knock it back out again. And do it every single day. So stay motivated. Stay strong. Always press forward. I love you. And I'll be back with video number 5 tomorrow. We're going to wrap this up. And it's going to be awesome. So please be sure to share this. And join me tomorrow for video 5. Talk to you later.